I would like to start by saying that all these stories are fake and completely not real, and I would really appreciate if you could all subscribe. I would thank you really much. This first happened when I was around 18 or so, and one of my coworkers talked about how they needed a babysitter, but they didn't know anybody that was um reliable. And she thought I was reliable because I was on the honor roll. I was one of the goody two shoes kids that parents, teacher would always call on first to pass out papers. I would always respect the teacher. That's why they thought I was responsible. But one of the reasons why they couldn't find anybody to babysit this kid was because this kid had an overactive imagination and got scared easily. And every couple of minutes, you had to calm him down. Any small thing, any slight thing would scare him. So it was really a pain to do that. But I decided to take the job. Like I said, I was pretty good with the kids, and I was smart and reliable. Another reason why I took the job: this family was rich. I'm talking plastic surgeon dad, mom, corporate lawyer in mergers and acquisitions, one kid, and who who they just moved from LA to Phoenix. Yeah, that kind of money. So I thought, hey, why not? And they talked about how their house was really secure. So I decided to take the job. When I got there, their parents were so happy that I took the job. They couldn't thank me enough. They couldn't thank me enough. They were just so happy that finally someone could take care of their kids. That's when Edward walked in. When he first walked in, you can just tell he was one of those quiet kids I didn't really see much like. Hi, like the movies would cast him as quiet kid who goes crazy. When the parents said, "Hey, Edward, this is Sarah. She's gonna be your babysitter." He didn't really say much. He just did a quick wave and didn't really say anything. To break the awkward silence, the dad decided to give me the rundown of the entire house. One of the main rooms he wanted to show me was the security cameras. Now, this security camera was extremely modern. I was big. They had cameras all over the house. This would be one of those security cameras that you see in heist movies. But there were two particular video cameras that the dad wanted me to check. One of them was the video camera next to Edward's room, and the other was the video camera in the front lawn. So I agreed. Yes, I agreed that I would mainly look at those two cameras and make sure nothing bad happens. The dad then decided said that the mom had already made dinner for them. For their dinner, it was a gluten-free pizza made with cottage cheese and organic tomatoes, two kale salads, and for dessert, organic fruit salad. He talked about how his wife was pretty paranoid and a bit of a healthy nut. And he said like not to make too big of a deal out of dinner, and if the kid wanted to eat more, you can order pizza as he slipped me a $50 bill. He talked about how the kid Edward had 2 weeks ago had a full physical and dental checkup and everything was perfectly healthy, but the mom was still paranoid. So he said, "Look, if look, just you can just buy him the pizza if he doesn't want to eat the food. It's really not that big of a deal." So around 5 o'clock, that's when the parents left me and Edward. Before they left, they told me that I needed to take out the trash. I agreed. They told me that I need to take out trash because they had just had construction done on their entire house, especially the security room, and they had lots of trash. They finally left. Right after they left, I checked on Edward to see that everything was right. He didn't talk much, but he was just playing video games, and I thought, okay, nothing bad's gonna happen. So after about 10 minutes of texting my friend about everything, she thought it was just absolutely adorable what I was doing, and the kid was scared. We kept texting, and I felt something staring at me. I didn't know what it was. When I turned up, I saw Edward just standing there. I asked him what was going on. He didn't really say much. So I decided to ask if he was scared. He nodded. So I decided I'm gonna go to this kid's room to check if everything's wrong, just to give him some relief. When I looked in the security cameras, there were nothing there. So I decided to go to his room and looked out his window, and nothing was there. I said, "See, kid, there's nothing there. Don't worry about it. It's all in your imagination." But he didn't really seem that relief. And this was so I didn't know what to do. I decided to make him dinner to get his mind off things. I made him dinner, but I noticed two things. One of the kale salad had mold in it, so I threw it away. Two, the cottage cheese pizza tasted horrible. I decided to take up the dad's offer and buy him a pizza for someone else. I'm like, hey, this kid's scared. Maybe a pizza can just cheer him up. So I ordered the pizza, but it's gonna take a while for the pizza to get here. And I said I have to feed the kid something. Maybe it can get him talking. So I called the kid over for dinner and I told him about that the pizza was coming. And I gave him, and he started eating some of the kale salad, but not much, and the cottage cheese pizza. I tried to ask him what was going on, what was bothering him, and he told me that there was a monster and a scary man outside his window. I told him that it wasn't that big of a deal, that it was probably in his imagination because I looked at his security cameras and there's nobody there, and that there's no such thing as monsters. I didn't really seem to cheer him up, so I told him that the cottage cheese pizza was some sort of monster fighting pizza, and I'll give him lots of energy. He didn't seem to believe it, and I made a joke that he was really smart. He didn't really react much. So after about half the kale salad, I told him that he didn't really need to finish anything. So he went back to his room. I asked him if it would help if I stayed with him. He said no. So I asked him, "Do you want me to keep the door open?" He said yes. And I told him like the pizza's probably gonna be here in about 20 minutes, so you don't really have to worry about anything. So I continued. I went on to talking to on to talk to my friend and watching TV. After about 20 minutes, I saw Edward there staring at me. When I looked at him and asked him what was going on, he didn't really say much. He said he was just scared of what was going on. I told him that he should not be scared and that there were security cameras everywhere. And that's when I realized that I completely forgot to take out the trash. I told him that he was a lifesaver and I ran out and I took out the trash and I came back in. But I accidentally had got some of the garbage on me, so I decided I needed to take a shower. After I took in a shower, I saw Edward there right next to my door. I'm like, okay, kid, what's going on? He said he saw a man in a uniform. He said he saw a man in a uniform walking towards his house. Now this kind of freaked me out. I decided to look through the people, but it was the pizza delivery driver. After I got my pizza, I paid him, and the pizza delivery driver left. We started eating the pizza, and I kept trying to ask him what was going on. After laughing it off with the pizza man, I paid the pizza man extra tip, and I took the pizza back in, and I decided to talk to Edward about what was going on. He seemed sad and asked him what was going on. He said that his parents hated him. I told him, your parents don't hate you. They're just frustrated about the situation and what's going on. They care about you, and that I told him that, but he kept insisting that he saw a monster. I told him, Edward, look, I told you before. I checked all the security cameras and everything. There wasn't any monsters or any scary people. But he told me, but the man told me you look good in the blue dress. That's when I completely forgot. I was like, what? He also said that you needed to stop texting. Now I completely froze on this. So I grabbed Edward and ran to the security room and I locked the door, security camera room and locked the door. And I looked through all the security cameras. What I saw next completely scared me. The security camera to the front door that I could see did not have a trash can near it. Did not have a trash can anywhere near it. It was Friday, and when I checked the timestamp, the security camera was that of Wednesday. So I completely freaked out and I called 911 and called the kid's parents. When they both arrived, they expected camera, but they found signs of breaking and entering, but they did not see anybody. My guess about what happened was when the family rewired the house, remodeled the house, one of the technicians must have found a way to hack into the system and change the change the security camera so it showed old footage. That the family decided to get brand new security system, and I refused. I kept apologizing to the family about what happened. I should have been more careful, but the dad said that it was not that big of a deal and that we all make mistakes.